Let me set the scene so you understand where most people are coming from. You go to work on Friday, you log into your bank account, and boom, no paycheck. You've worked all month, it's payday, and you've got nothing. Zero. Zip. Nada. So naturally, you go to ask about it. You walk down to your boss's office and say, "Hey, I noticed we didn't get our paychecks today." He looks at you, squints his beady little eyes, and says, "You're fired." Now, how would you feel about that? A guy expects a paycheck, asks about it, and gets fired. If that sounds like total BS to you, then you're really going to love this My Funded Future story.
Let me preface it by saying this. I get it. Traders are expected to be patient with prop firms. But let's zoom out and look at this on a real-world scale. When you go to the bank and ask for a withdrawal, is it acceptable to wait several hours to get your money? No. And why is that? Because there's an expectation of service. Have prop firms use fast payout speeds in their marketing? Have they implied lightning-fast payments? Was it reasonable to expect that payout to hit your account in under 2 hours, especially when they did in the past? If the answer to any of that is yes, then that's where the breakdown happened.
And if you don't believe me, just look at Take Profit Trader. FinTwit went into a full-blown panic when those famously fast payouts didn't come through. And because this community runs on anxiety and speculation, people started assuming the worst. Missed payments? That's the first domino in a collapsing prop firm. Now you've got influencers scrambling to figure out what's going on, but you know who should be answering that question? The CEO. All they have to do is get on YouTube, make a video, explain what's happening. It's not rocket science. A small amount of planning would put you miles ahead of the panic.
Anyway, here's what happened at My Funded Futures. A trader named Dr. Tip posted on X, very politely mind you, that his payout, which normally takes 5 minutes, was now at the 2-hour mark. That's it. No insults, no drama. Just a chill little, "Hey, heads up, I'm still waiting." So what does the CEO do? He bans him. Bans him. Not from payouts, not from trading, from buying new evaluations. Honestly, that's the kind of business model you'd expect from a child running a lemonade stand. "Oh, you want ice? No lemonade for you, Cheryl."
And it gets worse. Other traders who commented on the situation also banned. So now we're not just running a prop firm, we're running a block party. Except instead of hot dogs and beer, it's just your CEO blocking everyone on social media. At this point, we have to ask, are prop firms being run by professionals or by cranky kids who need a nap? I mean, if your entire operation can be threatened by one polite tweet, maybe the problem isn't the trader. But hey, if asking about your money now gets you blacklisted, just imagine what happens if you actually complain. Like, do they send a drone strike? So yeah, My Funded Futures. Come for the payouts. Stay for the censorship.
Speaking of prop firms trying to silence people, Kellyanne just sat through a 7.5-hour deposition to prove she wasn't in contempt of court. And like we predicted, it sure looks like the prop firms were using the legal system as intimidation. But Kellyanne didn't back down. She fought the sanctions, and guess what? Good news. The court ruled no sanctions. But still, look at what it cost her. Tens of thousands in legal fees, time she'll never get back, and enough stress to be a year's worth of trading Trump tweets. All because a prop firm didn't like what she said.
Which brings me to Peter Brandt. In an industry filled with screenshots, simulators, and suspicious payout promises, the last person you'd expect to take a stand is a 78-year-old trader who started his career before email existed. But here he is. Peter Brandt, the man who's quietly placed over 25,000 trades, turned $10 million in capital by the late 80s, and once clocked a 600% return in a single year, back when algo trading meant yelling louder in the pit. While most influencers are busy showing off funded accounts on TikTok, Peter is calling out the prop firm industry for what he says it really is: gaming.
Brandt isn't some bitter boomer yelling at the charts. He's a seasoned trader with 5 decades of data, a proven edge, and 0 affiliate links. He says sim trading for payouts might actually be illegal, comparing it to online poker or sports betting, except with fewer regulations and more marketing fluff. He's particularly concerned about the lack of transparency, forced cookie-cutter models, and the fact that less than 1% of traders are ever truly funded. His solution? Call it what it is. If prop firms want to gamify trading, then treat them like casinos. Regulate them, tax them, and stop pretending it's Wall Street prep school.
And maybe he's right, because beyond the censorship, the constant rule changes, and the payout denials that plague the prop firm space, we now have 2 brand new issues to celebrate. First up, meet the newest futures prop firm on the block, Top One Futures, because apparently bottom of the barrel didn't test well in focus groups. Now, this firm didn't just pop into existence. No, it oozed over from the Forex world, where it's known as Top One Trader. And their marketing strategy? Full-blown MLM energy. Think Mary Kay, Beachbody, Herbalife. The founder, Matt Morris, built this firm using a textbook multi-level marketing structure to juice affiliate growth. Honestly, kind of genius. If it wasn't also the blueprint for, every scam ever.
Enter Mr. Keep My Name Out of Your Mouth himself, Austin Silver, YouTuber turned trader, turned brand ambassador, turned please use my referral code so I can retire in Bali by Thursday. Yeah, Austin didn't just hop on the affiliate train. He tried to conduct it, scooping up influencers like it was a clearance sale at Trader Joe's. But here's the thing. Anyone who's been in the trading space longer than a pumpkin spice latte season has spidey senses for this kind of nonsense. So when the Twitterverse turned on these guys, all hell broke loose. Austin was called out for a racist post where he joked about coughing on people who wear masks, which if nothing else proves he's an idiot, not an immunologist.
Just a quick science refresher. Surgeons don't wear masks to protect themselves. They wear them to protect you. So, the next time you see a kind, elderly Asian woman wearing a mask at the grocery store, maybe consider this. She probably thinks she has a cold, and she's evolved enough to try and protect your dumb American ass. So, Austin, maybe don't turn her mask into some weird Pornhub fantasy where you're coughing germs on strangers. All it really does is highlight your lack of cultural awareness and basic human decency. Now, you might be wondering, okay, but what if the prop firm itself is solid? Nope.
Kellyanne did a deep dive into their Trustpilot reviews because she believes in research and recreational reading. And here's what she found. One trader spent $30,000 on challenges, finally passed, and was told, sorry, your risk management doesn't align with our vibe. Another had his strategy banned mid-test because they randomly decided copy trading was illegal. And then she hit the fine print because that's where the real party happens. Top one caps your total monthly profit across all accounts at $25,000. Yes, even if you have 10 accounts. You hit $25,000, you're done. It's like Netflix asking, whoa, 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 4 episodes of Suits in a row? Let's cool it, hotshot. And get this, before you withdraw, they might interview you on video because nothing screams professional trading firm like a surprise Zoom call asking if you really meant to hit buy. Oh, and their slogan, it's the same as fast track trading. Welcome home. Make of that what you will.
And finally, we have Elite Trader Funding, which should honestly rebrand to Elite Red Flags, because this firm isn't just sketchy, they're now pulling Scooby-Doo villain moves. Traders are coming forward saying they passed their evaluations, requested payouts, and then, poof, their accounts were deleted. The reason? Alleged VPN usage. That's right, VPNs. You know that thing your dad uses because he thinks it stops your mom from finding his porn history. And here's the kicker. The firm didn't flag the VPN when the trader signed up, or when they traded. Only when they asked for money. How convenient. It's like they're running their fraud detection system on a 3-day delay, and only use it when it's time to pay you.
Their explanation? You broke our terms by using IP masking technology. Oh, please, people use VPNs for everything now. Netflix, hotel Wi-Fi, protecting their Candy Crush data. Just say you didn't want to pay out and go. So yeah, between the payout bans, censorship, MLM schemes, and CEOs banning traders like it's their personal block party, it's clear. Prop firms are out of control. And if this is the future of trading, we don't just need regulation, we need a hero.
Okay, wow. So this week on BDH Live, Patrick Wieland invited fellow trader Rake Trades to join him in person at the BDH studio. And let me just say, it felt less like a trading interview, and more like a buddy cop reboot. Think Wolf of Wall Street meets HGTV. Rake walks in like he's stepping into the Vatican of trading setups. Eyes wide, mouth open, probably whispering, I think this place just turned me bullish. And honestly, same. If your studio has LED lighting, 5 monitors, and smells like Chipotle and ambition, I trust your trades.
Then Rake casually drops that he's number 6 on Topstep's leaderboard. And get this, he took a $20,000 funded account and turned it into $135,000, trading 1 to 2 contracts. That's not trading, that's voodoo. Oh, and he's already withdrawn $208,000 this year. Meanwhile, I'm over here celebrating when my FFF promo code actually works at Tradeify. But if you're wondering why this guy is so damn likable, it's because he's human. He openly talks about having 8 red days in a row in March. 8, not because his strategy failed, but because he did. Pre-market trades, revenge setups. Oh, that little trading demon we all pretend doesn't exist. Yeah, it finally clocked in and went full-time on his ass.
To his credit, Rake owned it. He says the way he survives those days is simple. Close the laptop, leave the room. Honestly, that's not just trading advice. That's relationship advice. That's family Thanksgiving advice. That's FinTwit advice. And just when you think, okay, these guys are about to turn this into a chill podcast, they drop an epic short, catapulting both of them onto Tradeify's top 5 leaderboard. Patrick came in hot at number 1 with $26,000, and Rake followed close behind at number 2 with $21,000. Just goes to show, these aren't your average bro traders. They're a dynamic duo, and the charts never stood a chance.
At this point, I'm not watching a trading show. I'm watching The Price is Right Prop Firm Edition. And the prize? not paying taxes. Because yes, plot twist, Rake drops the hottest tip of the episode. If you're trading a live prop account, you don't pay taxes until you withdraw. Let me repeat that. Tax-free gains until you cash out. Meanwhile, my personal brokerage is sending me a 1099 every time I sneeze in the direction of a micro contract. And yeah, you still owe the split and eventually the taxes. But you get to choose when. Prop firms are basically the Roth IRAs for degenerates. And before you think this was just a flex fest, Rake hits us with the realest trader wisdom of all. If you try to be perfect, you're going to fail. Which is true, especially when you trade, or host Thanksgiving, or date.
So this week's BDH Live was part masterclass, part therapy session, part buddy comedy, with a dash of Chipotle-fueled mania and enough VWAP talk to summon the ghost of Jesse Livermore. And if you don't know who that is, don't worry, I got you. Jesse Livermore was basically the original Wall Street bad boy. He made millions shorting the market before the 1907 crash, then did it again in 1929 and walked away with what would be over $1 billion today. Icon legend. And also, cautionary tale. Because despite being a trading genius, he still blew up his accounts multiple times. Why? Emotions, over-leverage. You know, the exact things Rake just warned us about.
So yeah, Jesse Livermore walked, so every blown-up trader account on FinTwit could run. His story is a masterclass in brilliance, breakdowns, and the importance of not letting your trading demon drive the bus. As always, huge thanks to Patrick and the BDH crew for bringing together the biggest names in the trading space and giving us a front row seat. We're genuinely grateful for everything you're doing. It means more than you know. And Rake, he just seems like one of those unassumingly chill people who also happens to be absolutely lethal on the charts. Thanks again, guys. Great content.
Before we dive into the final story, there are two things you need to have on your radar. The first is Topstep. The OGs of prop trading, the grandpas of gains, just announced they're considering adding a 50% consistency rule to funded accounts. Not evaluations, not practice mode. The real thing. To be fair, 50% consistency isn't the worst number. I mean, it could be 80%. But when you combine it with the 5-day payout window, where you must make $200 each day, the $5,000 payout cap before going live, and now mandatory consistency on funded accounts, you're not running a business anymore. You're doing a CrossFit obstacle course for money.
The wild part? Michael Patak, the Topstep exec behind the tweet, did say they might remove the 5-day window and the payout cap in exchange, which is sweet. You know, like when your landlord raises your rent but promises to take out the garbage for you. But here's the kicker. If Topstep does this, other prop firms might copy it, because nothing breeds innovation like copying the oldest firm in the game. So Topstep, if you're going to preach consistency, start with your own rule book. We don't mind working hard, but if we wanted rules that get harder the better we do, we'd go back to middle school math.
The other big story to keep an eye on, and this one is massive, like 5 million massive. Let's talk about how Jade Cap may have just shattered the record for the biggest Apex payout ever. How big? Try $5.2 million. Now, before you start Googling how to get rich trading futures, pump the brakes, because Jade Cap didn't just stumble into this like he tripped and fell into a money pit. He's been trading since 2011. That's almost 15 years of screen time, blown accounts, and enough emotional damage to power an entire therapy retreat. He logged 49 trading days, just over the 48-day threshold for uncapped payouts. But get this. He actually lost a payout early on because he only had 4 green days instead of the required 5. Brutal. But since then, smooth sailing, no issues. And he's even self-aware enough to admit, look, I'm not an Apex affiliate, but I've got a big following. That might be why they're not messing with me.
This week alone, Jade added a jaw-dropping $900,000 to his balance. That's right, $900,000 in a single week. And no, it wasn't luck. It was pure strategy. He nailed a massive short trade after a textbook setup, fueled by, wait for it, Trump's tariff speech. He timed it using the power of 3: accumulation, manipulation, distribution. Basically, the market fakes you out, steals your lunch money, and then throws a party. So if you're thinking about diving into Apex and chasing that $5 million payout, just remember, Jade spent over a decade getting beat up by the markets to get here. Treat trading like surgery. You don't get to crack someone's chest open just because you binged a season of Grey's Anatomy. If you want to see how he actually pulled it off, every entry, every level, every perfectly timed execution, check out the full video breakdown on his channel. It's a masterclass in conviction, timing, and experience. Big shout out to Jade Cap for not just talking the talk, but trading the trade. We're rooting for you, man, and we wish you nothing but continued success, and maybe a vacation after this quarter. You've earned it.
Now, for a little motivation, it's that time of the month again. And no, not that time. We're talking about payouts. You know, the magical moment where your sim dreams turn into actual money, or at least enough to cover the therapy it took to get here. Nutty Bar is back. this time reporting from outside his closet. That's right, folks. He came out of the closet. And before you get excited, no, this isn't a Bravo special. This is trading, where the drama is dumber, the losses are higher, and the outfits are still sweatpants. He just moved from Florida back to Ohio, where the only thing colder than the weather is the emotional damage from blowing 10 funded accounts in January.
Let's get to the list, because nothing says self-worth like comparing your P&L to strangers on the internet. Coming in at number 10 is Fong from California, raking in $84,750, which in California makes you financially optimistic, but still spiritually bankrupt every time you fill up your gas tank. Number 9, Muhammad from Malaysia makes his return with $87,500. He's been here so many times, Apex should really start offering him a punch card. 10 payouts and the next one comes with a free hoodie.
Number 8, Man from Illinois, cashing out with $90,000. That's not just a name, that's a statement. You see Man on the leaderboard, you don't question it. You just quietly accept your place below him. Number 7, Eddie from Arizona, locking in $91,548. That's enough to buy a house, a horse, and still have money left over for a backup air conditioner, because Arizona doesn't do cooling off. Number 6, Charlotte in North Carolina, hitting $94,500, which in Carolina terms buys you 12 acres, a wraparound porch, and probably naming rights to the local high school football stadium.
Number 5, Ruby Lee from the Philippines, hitting the same spot again, banking $109,000. Talk about consistent. At this point, she's got a reserved seat on the leaderboard, and U.S. traders are stress Googling how to pass from overseas like there's a secret sauce. There's not. It's the same sim. She's just better at it. Number 4, Connor from Virginia, locking in $110,000. Quiet, calculated, and straight out of the Commonwealth. Because apparently Virginia isn't just for lovers, it's also for traders who sneak up the leaderboard while everyone else is over-leveraged and overconfident. Number 3, Kyle in Florida, locking in $124,200. He's no stranger to the leaderboard, but this time he's climbed higher. And honestly, doing that from Florida, where the air is soup and your mouse sticks to your hand, deserves a bonus.
Number 2, Daniel from Tennessee, bringing in a glorious $133,000. Tennessee law now requires him to buy a truck and a Chick-fil-A franchise. Number 1, Andrew from California, claiming the crown with $158,300. That's more than a junior engineer at a tech startup. And Andrew doesn't have to pretend he cares about kombucha on tap. So if you're not on this list, don't panic. Nutty Bar personally scrolled through all 16,000 payouts just so you can pause the video, circle your name, and send it to your mom with the subject line, "See? I told you I'm not just playing with charts."
Also, Nutty himself made $21,500 this month. He says he's taking the slow and steady approach. I call it trading like your prop firm is watching. Because they are. Always. March hit $24.67 million in payouts. Not the biggest number we've seen, but it's still momentum. It's still thousands of traders moving forward, one small win, or one giant one, at a time. If this top 10 has you feeling inspired, or mildly competitive, and adding accounts to your cart, use code FFF at checkout. That's FFF. Just 3 little letters between you and maybe, someday, a shout out right here.
But let's get serious for a second. Nutty gave some real talk. If you're blowing accounts this month, don't beat yourself up. On April 7th, the market ripped 1,600 points up and then dropped 1,000 points in under 30 minutes. That wasn't a chart. That was pure unfiltered chaos. Like the market stubbed its toe and took it out on everyone. So if you're alive, funded, and not crying into a prop firm hoodie, you're already winning.
And of course, a huge thank you to Nutty Bar for putting this top 10 list together every month and taking the time to scroll through thousands of payouts so traders can see where they stand. It's a ton of work, and somehow he makes it entertaining and useful. Appreciate you, Nutty. We don't know how you do it, but we're glad you do. Stay safe, slow down, and if some YouTuber says they made $1 million last month but doesn't show up on the payout list, yeah, they probably also invented VWAP. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, click here to check out another great video or explore our full playlist for more. Watch time means the world to us, so please share this with your trading buddies. And if you don't have any, just watch it again yourself. Remember, trading is tough enough. We all deserve more laughs. Thanks again, and see you next week.